Have you ever wondered about the life of a con artist and how or why they become one? You might have heard the name Anna Delvey recently from the Netflix series Inventing Anna. But what you might not know is her real name is Anna Sorokin. With that said, let's explore the psychology of Anna Delvey. So, who is Anna Delvey? Anna Delvey is an alias of a woman who pretended to be a German heiress. She conned lots of money, $275,000, from New York's rich elite, including banks, hotels, and private jet companies, by claiming she had a trust fund of $67 million. She lied her way into nightclubs and parties by flaunting her wealth and her fake luxury lifestyle on social media. But in reality, she was a girl from a working-class Russian family, interning at a fashion magazine, who served less than 4 years of her 4 to 12-year prison sentence after being released for good behavior. How? Because she had the belief and confidence that she could pull it off in a fake-it-till-you-make-it imposter syndrome sort of way. People believed her confidence with something called social proof. When large groups of people believe something, others will too. So why didn't Anna's so-called friends notice any red flags in her behavior, even when she asked them to pay for plane tickets and taxis and all expense trips because she said she had trouble moving money from Europe? Because she was confident. She gaslit people, and because of something called face work, where most people feel uncomfortable calling out people who do bad things because we trust that people are good or truthful, so they just let it slide. Psychologist Maria Konnikova looks at Anna's mindset and says it exploits our fascination for an existence that's out of the ordinary. She says, we con people every day in our social behavior, like when we pretend to like or dislike the same things as our friends to create common ground, which is almost a form of manipulation. Former FBI agent and psychologist Jack Schafer has interviewed scammers for years and says women may be better con artists due to differences in the brain. A thicker corpus callosum, the part that joins both hemispheres, could give women the advantage with more complex decision-making, persuasion, and trust that creates a connection with others, or the illusion of connection and friendship. This is done by psychological techniques like mirroring, which is mimicking other people's gestures and body language. So what is the psychology behind Anna Delvey? There are a few different aspects behind Anna's behavior and how she was able to get away with conning so many people. Number 1, narcissistic. Anna has issues with vanity and entitlement, and she's being called narcissistic, even though personality psychologist Brent Roberts says narcissistic aspects like vanity and entitlement is on the decline in young people. Number 2, delusions of grandeur. Psychologists worldwide have examined Anna's mental disorder and say she has delusions of grandeur, which is when you think you have more wealth or power or other qualities than you do. Number 3, psychopathic. Anna is psychopathic because she doesn't care about rules or others' feelings or have remorse. According to the Psychology in Seattle podcast on the psychology of Anna Delvey, she's probably on the psychopathic spectrum because she doesn't care about societal rules or other people's feelings and doesn't mind lying to others or have much remorse. She also doesn't have a problem with manipulating people, which she's good at. But even though she did some psychopathic things, on the scale of psychopathy, she's kind of low. The issue was that she had big dreams and she was running out of money. Because she's on the psychopathic scale, she doesn't try to achieve her dreams of wealth and fame the normal way. So she starts to scheme and deceive people to get what she wants. Number 4, sociopathic. One of Anna's friends, Rachel Williams, that defrauded of $62,000 when she paid the bill for a trip to Morocco for Anna, calls her a sociopath. According to a Psychology Today article, sociopaths share some traits with psychopaths: a disregard for laws and social values, not caring about others, and not feeling guilt or remorse. Number 5, gaslighting. Anna uses this technique when people question her about not being able to make payments for things because she doesn't actually have any money, but she's supposed to be rich, right? So she acts like people are being stupid for questioning her about it because that's ridiculous. Of course the money will come because she's loaded. She makes the other people feel like they've got it all wrong and they're stupid for thinking that. Number 6, social proof. Social proof occurs when you have people on board with you. It's easier to get others to follow. This happens with large social media followings, like Anna got with her fake lavish Instagram lifestyle. Once you start networking with high flyers, you'll make more connections with other rich and famous people, giving you more credibility, and more people will believe what you say, even if you're lying. Vanessa Bonds, a social psychologist, says that Anna and other con artists exploit the processes we rely on daily as we communicate and cooperate as human beings in society because we trust others more than distrust them. It might be hard to believe that people who hardly knew Anna gave her their money and believed her when she said she'd get it later. Psychologists have done many experiments over the years of people giving money to complete strangers thinking they'll make a profit. Even when people really wonder if they'll get their money back, they still do it. Number 7, first impressions. Making a great first impression happens in seconds through clothes, body language, and facial expressions. It can lead people to believe certain things about someone, and then it's hard to change their minds. Anna gave the impression that she was wealthy with designer clothes and staying in expensive hotels that she didn't end up paying for. Another aspect of human behavior is that we presume other people are sincere and believe people are truthful. So when a first impression is someone is rich, they stick to that belief. Some researchers have found evidence for the truth default. In experiments, when interrupting people when they're trying to figure out if statements are true or false, people defaulted to saying they were true. Because if we don't trust others or believe they're telling the truth and believe who they say they are, we can't build relationships with other people. And we have to trust others, otherwise society doesn't work. How would Airbnb or ride-sharing work if we didn't trust strangers? Number 8, reality framing. Another technique is reality framing, where you build a certain reality and live it 100% so that other people buy into it and believe it too, even if it's totally fake. And that's what Anna did, and anyone who questions her reality is gaslighted and made to believe they're being ridiculous. What do you think of Anna Sorokin pretending to be young, rich Anna Delvey, who influenced others to pay for things for her because they believed she was wealthy when she really wasn't? Looking into the psychology behind why certain people, like con artists, do what they do is really interesting, don't you agree? Let us know your thoughts in the comments below. Until next time, thanks for watching.
Does how you look impact your success in school, work, or how the world treats you? Do people perceive advantages in life simply because society deems them beautiful? This is what's called pretty privilege. To find out what psychology says about pretty privilege, keep watching. Treated differently. Social psychologists Michael Hogg and Graham Vaughn say that attractive people receive different treatment and face different assumptions. Those who meet a certain standard of beauty are often the recipients of better social treatment and advantages in life, meaning those who don't meet these standards of beauty receive social disadvantages. Before we talk about what these advantages are, let's first explore what is considered beautiful according to psychology. Beauty standard. What is beautiful? Does it lie in the eye of the beholder? Is it decided by trends in media? Or is there a measurable way to define what is pretty? According to anthropologist Clellan Ford and psychologist Frank Beach, cultures have their own beauty ideals, meaning not all cultures view beauty the same way. Naturalist and biologist Charles Darwin was struck by these differences, finding that different cultures have certain preferences for skin color, body hair, size, and beauty practices. However, there are certain features that are viewed as attractive cross-culturally. According to psychology, facial symmetry and an average-looking face is considered most attractive. Evolution. When someone attractive catches your eye, you probably aren't thinking they're beautiful because they look average and symmetrical. So what do these psychological findings mean, and where do they come from? Psychological studies show that people view average-looking faces as the most attractive when they compare individual faces to computer-generated faces, representing the median or average features of a certain population. These computerized faces end up being highly symmetrical. Forensic neuropsychologist Judy Ho explains that symmetry generally has a correlation to biological strength and healthy genes. From an evolutionary perspective, reproduction is critical to ensure that an organism's genes don't die, which means preferences may be adaptations for mate choice because attractive traits signal important aspects of mate quality, explains psychology professor Gillian Rhodes. The idea that beauty comes from an evolutionary reproductive need suggests that we are instinctively wired to view certain people as pretty. Privilege. The advantages of being pretty start early. Children with pretty privilege get higher grades, more popularity, and are observed as being better adjusted than their peers. According to social psychologist Michael Hogg and Graham Vaughan, in adulthood, beautiful adults have more dates, more career success, and are more liked by their peers. Another piece of the puzzle when looking at the advantages of being pretty is what psychologists call the halo effect, which is if you view someone as having one good trait, you can then associate many other good traits with the original. So if you view someone as beautiful, you might assume they are also talented, smart, or funny. Of course, that isn't always the case. You might assume someone is shallow or not as smart because of their beauty. Full picture. Being pretty has its privileges, but it doesn't tell the whole story. For example, the #1 indicator for job success is someone's IQ, not their appearance. And studies show teacher quality is the biggest contributor to academic achievement. Even something like being popular isn't always the result of being pretty. Psychologist Marina Harris says vulnerability and authenticity are what build meaningful connections and lead to likability. And high self-esteem can come from living in alignment with your values, according to psychologist Nick Wignall. You are more. There's something comforting about the fact that physical beauty fades, but the beauty of your soul lasts forever. Real beauty doesn't need makeup because you're so much more than how you look. Do you notice that when someone makes you laugh, inspires you, or makes you feel something, you forget what they look like? Or when you kiss someone, do you keep your eyes open? Probably not. This is because real beauty is seen in your heart. It's important to learn about the subconscious biases we hold so we can untrain these beliefs and in turn, treat ourselves and others better. Poet Rupi Kaur shares how you can do just that. We want to mention that while Rupi is talking to women, her words apply to everyone. I want to apologize to all the women I have called beautiful. Before, I've called them intelligent or brave. I'm sorry I made it sound as though something as simple as what you were born with is all you have to be proud of, when you have broken mountains with your wit. From now on, I will say things like, you are resilient, or you are extraordinary, not because I don't think you're beautiful, but because I need you to know you are more than that. Do you think pretty privilege exists? Let us know in the comments below. And no matter what, don't forget that Sai thinks you're beautiful just the way you are. And remember, you matter. Are you looking for a cuddly companion that brings positivity and mental wellness to your daily life? Get your very own Sai. The lovable plushie is here to brighten your days. It embodies the spirit of Psych2Go, and it serves as a reminder to prioritize your mental well-being. Its green leaf symbolizes growth, renewal, and the importance of self-care. Whether it's for yourself or as a thoughtful gift for a loved one, Sai is ready to be your snuggly friend through all of life's ups and downs. Buy your Sai plushie today. Link is listed in the description box. Hey Psych2Goers, welcome back to a brand new venture. Before we begin, we wanna make a quick shout out to Danielle Musunda, who suggested this video topic. If you have any topic requests, feel free to leave them in the comments. Let's start the video. So, what does it mean to be emotionally weak? Emotional weakness is not being able to regulate or express your emotions in a healthy, well-balanced way. It isn't anyone's fault, nor is it something to be ashamed of if you feel you haven't reached a certain level of emotional strength. It's a process requiring patience. To help you become more self-aware, here are 7 habits that make you emotionally weak. Number 1, not believing in yourself. What's something you think you're bad at? What about genuinely trying that activity again after deciding you're no good at it? It's important to realize that an initial failure doesn't mean you aren't gifted or talented enough for something. If you only stick to first tries, you'll likely end up limiting and dragging yourself down. In psychology, this is called a self-fulfilling prophecy. Simply put, if you believe something is true, you subconsciously go out of your way to affirm it. For example, if you believe you'll fail a math test, you're much more likely to do worse since you have such low confidence. What this means is not having faith in yourself makes you both emotionally weak and it makes you perform worse, so watch out. Number 2, not taking care of yourself. Do you struggle with taking breaks when needed? While it sounds counterintuitive, in a work-oriented society, it's actually sometimes harder to rest than to keep pushing yourself to the limit. Emotional weakness tends to force people to base their self-worth on their achievements, status, or finances, instead of who they are as a person. After all, regardless of how often we hear the phrase, love yourself, it's still incredibly hard to put into practice. This can lead to many problems, such as avoiding self-care, not prioritizing your physical health, and burnout. You may not realize it, but there is strength in taking breaks. Your worth isn't based upon what you do. Instead, it's based on who you are. Number 3, making decisions based upon emotions instead of values. Do you tend to think with your heart rather than your head? Have you ever regretted letting your initial reaction to something get out of control? If so, you know all too well about letting your emotions get the best of you. Not being able to balance your emotions with your morals and logic is a telltale sign of emotional weakness. How you feel should be a factor in your decisions, but when it becomes the driving force, you end up making impulsive, uninformed, or dramatic choices. So, when faced with a difficult decision, trying to identify the emotion you're feeling and seeing whether it's outweighing your values and reasons stops you from making irrational decisions. Hey, Psych2Goers, I'm curious to know, would you rather date online or meet someone in person? I would love to see your answers in the comments. I'm asking you because today's video is sponsored by Dive, the first ever dating app for meeting in person rather than online. The way it works is whenever you're at a certain location, you can just check in and see who else is there in the app and wink at who you're interested in. If they wink back, you're matched. Since you're already at the same place, you can just chat and say where you are so you and your date can meet instantly. The idea is that if you express a liking towards each other in an app first, you can skip the fear of rejection most of us have, making it a lot easier to meet. With this ingenious idea, if you wanna help, you can become a supporter by checking out their Indiegogo campaign that just launched today. Click the description box below to see how you can support. Number 4, judging yourself for how you feel. This isn't a normal feeling, or I shouldn't feel like this since no one else does. Do you ever think to yourself phrases like these? It may be easy to judge yourself for how you feel, but doing so can have many unintended consequences. These pave the road for emotional weakness. Why so? Because these questions cause you to suppress, deny, or deflect your emotions. In reality, your emotions are one of the biggest indicators as to what you should and shouldn't do, your boundaries, and what you enjoy. They serve as a guide to you. So it's important to remember that all feelings are valid and so deserve to be expressed. Number 5, needing to find a reason behind everything. Do you believe in the phrase, everything happens for a reason? It isn't prudent to hold it accountable for everything that occurs. Trying to find reason in everything may end up making you emotionally weaker. This is because you end up spending more time overthinking and analyzing whenever something that you can't explain or rationalize happens. It takes the focus away from taking action and looking for ways to cope. A huge sign of emotional strength is being able to recognize and accept situations as they occur and making the best of them. Number 6, trying to control and plan everything. Do you have your whole life mapped out? Have you planned exactly what career you want, if you'll get married, if you want kids, and more? While making a timeline is a great way to get a general idea of what you want in life, almost nothing goes according to plan. If you become too set on one path, you could become closed-minded and miss many opportunities simply because you weren't looking. You may also end up becoming less emotionally flexible, meaning if anything goes wrong, you're more likely to fall apart than adapt. Finally, similar to needing to find a reason behind everything, you could spend more time preparing than actually doing. The bottom line is, a key part of emotional strength is accepting you can't foresee everything, no matter how scary that sounds. And number 7, letting others control you. Have you ever purchased something just because it was popular? Being able to stand out from the crowd and be yourself is a huge sign of emotional strength. On the other hand, when you let others influence you, you might prioritize their needs over your own and end up making choices that don't actually benefit you. Others could recognize this emotional weakness and try to take advantage of you. So while it might be hard, It's important to remember that your wants and needs are ultimately the most important factor in your life. Emotional weakness isn't something to be ashamed of. It takes time, energy, and experience to become emotionally stronger. So don't be too hard on yourself if you're not there yet. The most important thing is to remember to be patient and kind to yourself as you continue to emotionally grow and mature. Were you aware of these habits? If so, do you think this can help you recognize and cope with them? Feel free to leave a comment down below with your thoughts, experiences, or suggestions. If you found this video helpful, be sure to hit the like button and share it with those out there unknowingly practicing these phrases. Don't forget to subscribe to Psych2Go and hit the notification bell icon for more new videos. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you soon. Hey Psych2Goers, welcome back to our channel. Thank you all so much for the love and support that you've given us. Your ongoing support has helped us make psychology and mental health more accessible to everyone. So thanks again. Now let's continue. Ancient Greek philosopher Aristotle once said, "Knowing yourself is the beginning of all wisdom." But how many of us really take the time to reflect on our deepest thoughts, feelings, and experiences to get a good sense of who we are? Nowadays, life moves so fast, it sometimes feels like we don't even have time to breathe, much less take the time for introspection. But getting to know yourself and learning more about who you are as a person can actually do a lot to make you happier, resolve your inner conflicts, improve your relationships with others, and most of all, improve your relationship with yourself. So here are 8 of the most important things you should know about yourself. Number 1, what makes you happy? One of the most rewarding things you can learn about yourself is what makes you happy. But you might rarely ever take the time to reflect on it. And although asking yourself this can seem like such a loaded question, being honest about what you're most passionate about and who you enjoy spending time with is crucial to finding your purpose in life and nurturing your mental and emotional well-being. Finding your happiness, even if it's just in the little everyday things, can do so much to improve the quality of your life and help you realize what you should and shouldn't prioritize. Number 2, your core values. Do you think honesty matters more than sensitivity? What about hard work versus resourcefulness, or ambition versus loyalty? Would you prefer others to be more open-minded or more traditional? What about community versus self-interest, or freedom versus loyalty? Knowing what ideas, virtues, or principles you value the most is crucial for not only your understanding more about who you are as a person, but also what you want from your relationships. Your core values are the ideas you want to uphold, and they give your life meaning and direction when you need to make a difficult decision or when stuck in times of strife. Number 3, how you respond to stress. Are you calm under pressure or panicky and anxious? Do you usually run away from conflict or face it head on? Knowing your go-to stress response is key to succeeding in difficult and demanding situations. Responding to stress in an unhealthy way, like denying all of your problems or procrastinating until the very last minute, holds you back from achieving your goals by trapping you in a dysfunctional pattern of behavior. When you're more aware of how you react in a stressful situation, you're better able to manage your anxiety, avoid the pitfalls of these unhealthy coping mechanisms, and stay resilient even amidst emotional distress. Number 4, your physical health. When you take care of your body, you make it easier for yourself to manage stress and fight against the symptoms of anxiety, depression, and fatigue. So it's important that you know what illnesses and medical conditions you may have and treat them as soon as possible to avoid further complications. For example, when left untreated, hyperthyroidism can actually lead to developing depression. So the more you know about your physical health, the better off you'll be mentally and emotionally. Number 5, your personality type. Are you an introvert or an extrovert? What's your MBTI type? Enneagram type? How do you rank in terms of the big 5 personality factors? Now, you might not even begin to know how to answer these questions, but taking a personality test is actually one of the easiest and most insightful ways you can get to know yourself better. Knowing your personality type can give you a deeper understanding of all the things that make you who you are and why you are the way that you are. It's a simple, fun, and interesting way to learn new things about yourself. Number 6, Your strengths. The sooner you learn what you excel at, the sooner you can start honing these skills and realizing your full potential. Are you good at cooking or dancing? Do you have a nice singing voice or a talent for writing? Do you easily finish puzzles and riddles? Or are you more interested in debate and public speaking? Are you a people person, a natural born leader, a gifted athlete? The truth is, until you put yourself out there and give it a try, you'll never know. Number 7, your weaknesses. Just as it's important to know where your strengths lie, it's also important for you to be aware of your own faults, flaws, and limitations. Of course, even though we all know that nobody is perfect, it's not always easy to admit to yourself what your weaknesses are. But having some insight into the things you struggle with and why can give you a clearer understanding of all the ways you could be holding yourself back. Are you trying to force yourself to be good at something you don't even enjoy? Or are you pursuing a career that doesn't suit your interests and skill sets? Once you know all of your weaknesses, you can either work to overcome them or learn to work around them. Either way, it's a good step to take towards personal growth and self-improvement. And number 8, your ideal self. If there's one thing about yourself you should always keep in mind, it's who you want to be in the future. Who are the people you look up to and why? What is it about them that you admire? And what is it you see in yourself that you feel is worth nurturing? Getting in the habit of asking yourself things like, what does this choice or action say about me? And is this in line with my best self? Brings you closer to the kind of person you're striving to be. It helps you stay true to your own values, passions, and goals. So, how well do you know yourself? Did this video help you discover what your core values are? Or help you realize what makes you happy? Do you know what your strengths and weaknesses are? Or what kind of personality you have? Discovering self-knowledge can pave the way for self-love, acceptance, self-confidence, and personal growth. Please like and share this video if it helped you and you think it could help someone else too. The studies and references used are listed in the description below. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button and notification bell icon for more Psych2Go videos. Thank you for watching, and we'll see you next time. Hey Psych2Goers, welcome back to our channel. If you're new here, welcome. Have you ever wondered what it is that makes you attractive to other people? Do you work very hard on how your skin looks or the type of haircut you get, or how genuine and contagious your smile is? Do you tend to overlook personality improvements because of the non-tangible results that it might give? Today, we want to remind you that your behavioral improvements have as much or even more impact than physical improvements. So to help you feel more confident, here are 6 signs that you have an attractive personality. Number 1, you have great conversational skills. Are you approachable, well-spoken, open-minded, authentic, and honest? These are all signs that you are a great communicator, and it's a good personality trait to have. Even if you're more of an introvert than an extrovert, having great conversational skills is still something that you are capable of having. As an introvert, you can still listen attentively and ask engaging questions, and maybe act more so quietly approachable in your own way. Authenticity and honesty are also important in being a good conversationalist. This helps people to trust you and want to engage with you for how steadfast and true you are and how well you listen to them. Number 2, you have a positive attitude. Would you describe yourself as a positive person? If you are someone who has a generally positive attitude, then your personality is much more attractive than someone who would rather just complain and pout all the time. It's generally well known that optimistic people are more physically and mentally healthy and have more professional success than those with negative outlooks. People will generally feel more attracted to you if you show them more positive emotions, such as love, kindness, and happiness. Number 3, you're confident. Have you ever felt attracted to someone's sense of confidence and self-assuredness, even more than their looks? Confidence is considered to be one of the most attractive personality traits. Your confidence can be used as an asset that shows how passionate and invested you are in the things that are important to you. Confidence is attractive because it shows that you believe in yourself and that you have a high level of self-esteem. Number 4, you're a great listener. When you have great listening skills, this will make your personality more appealing and attractive. When you're actively listening to what others have to say, this shows them that you care about them and what they say is important to you. For example, if someone tells you a really important story and you give them a general and non-committal response, then you're giving them the impression that you don't really want to listen to them and only want to talk about yourself. Number 5, you have a good sense of humor. Are you witty and humorous? Do you enjoy making others laugh? If you can make others laugh freely, take that as a compliment. Making people laugh can be hard because everyone has different senses of humor. But if you have the talent and skill to make people laugh, that is extremely valuable and makes your personality that much more attractive. When you have a quick wit, you're using both your cognitive and emotional processes to come up with your jokes. So you're also generally more intelligent. And number 6, you are open to trying new experiences. Are you willing to try out new experiences? Do you take more risks? According to Adrian Furnham from Psychology Today, having an inclination to explore opportunities is one of the traits that people look for in a partner. Your willingness to try new things shows others that your personality is flexible and open, making it a lot more attractive than someone who happens to be more closed off. So if you're willing to engage in new experiences, then you have 2 of the most attractive personality traits, flexibility and openness. The most attractive personality you can have is the one in which you are most truly yourself. Did you relate to any of these points? Tell us in the comments below. Please like and share this video if it helped you and you think it could help someone else too. The studies and references used are listed in the description below. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button for more Psych2Go videos, and thank you for watching. We'll see you next time. Hey there, Psych2Goers, welcome back to our channel. Have you recently stopped to look at your life from a big picture perspective? Do you feel like you're moving forward towards your goals, or do you feel stuck in your routine? It's very easy to get lost in the motions of the day and repeatedly perform the same tasks every single day. These harmful yet small habits can pile up and take on bigger, often negative meaning later on. Thus, identifying the small signs as they creep into your lifestyle can help nip the problem at the bud. Before we begin, please note this is for educational purposes and is based on personal opinions. It's not a substitute for professional advice, but for general guidance. We advise you to always listen to your intuition and always do what is right for you. All right, moving ahead. Here are 6 warning signs that your life might fall apart. Number 1, you're not interested in anything. Do you feel bored with life? This feeling is generally known as anhedonia and might be caused by a number of things such as depression, anxiety, stress, substance use, etc. Not having any interest makes it extremely difficult for you to find any motivation to carry on with your life goals. Getting out of bed in the morning seems a struggle. When you find yourself lacking a positive reaction to things that you used to feel happy about, it's important to act urgently before the development of any serious mental health issues. Taking small steps like slowly restarting activities that you remember you used to enjoy or staying active as much as you possibly can helps you keep on track with your motivation. However, if you feel nothing is working, seeking professional help allows you to cope better. Number 2, you don't care about yourself or your home. How much effort are you putting into maintaining good overall hygiene? Showing indifference towards your own body and environment's condition is a clear indicator that not only are things not going smoothly, but that you've accepted this and given up. Of course, there are cases where you're simply too busy to properly care for your appearance and home. The main factor that you should focus on when thinking about this sign is whether you're indifferent to it or not. You can try cleaning your room or house and see if this actually makes a difference. Cleaning is reported as a useful technique to distract yourself from sad thoughts and sort out whatever is going on in your mind too. Number 3, you refuse to communicate with others. When was the last time that you had a proper conversation with your family or friends? If you've been avoiding communication with anyone purposefully, then it might mean that there's a cause for concern. Yes, everyone needs their personal space to recharge and focus on their own thoughts. But if the reason you're isolating yourself relates to fear, then you might wanna do something to change this. This can be due to fear of people, social situations, difficult thoughts, and emotions. One of the best ways to beat this situation is by relying on others. Reaching out to your near and dear ones in a conscious effort can help you, as they always want the best for you. Maybe they might give you some advice that will be extremely useful to you. Number 4, you don't live in the present. Are you constantly thinking about the past or the future, but forget about the present? If you're constantly looking back at fond memories from the past or looking at the future hoping that something will change and forget to actually do something to achieve it, then chances are that your life is on a bumpy road. There's nothing wrong with reminiscing. You probably have tons of fond memories from the past, but if you're constantly thinking about them, you'll end up wasting a lot of time and might get the feeling that you're stuck. Or if you're constantly thinking about the future, you might end up adopting a very passive stance. You'll have thoughts such as, things will get better soon, let's just wait it out. But by clearly focusing your efforts on your life goals and taking steps to move towards them, it stimulates you to stay in the present. Number 5, you keep postponing things. Are you in a habit of constantly postponing things and never getting them done? It might also be an indicator that you're starting to feel lazy and have lost motivation and energy. Once again, you might be postponing things because you genuinely are too busy or have other things to do first, and that's completely okay. After all, you can only do so much in a day. However, if you're constantly postponing things, even when you have nothing else to do, that's when it gets worrisome. The hardest part is usually getting things started, so disposing of the list of excuses is the first step in the right direction. And number 6, you hate your job. How happy are you in your current workplace? Yes, a lot of people can cope with their jobs without loving it, but they don't hate it either. If you find yourself constantly wanting to leave early, counting the seconds until you finally leave the workplace, or not satisfied by the economic security that it brings, then such a situation warrants change. Working a job that you hate will not only make you unhappy, but most likely make others unhappy as well. It's prudent to decipher such feelings and think of remedial measures. Now, there is an emphasis that needs to be placed on whether something happens because you purposefully made it happen or if other factors are affecting it. When contemplating these situations, considering your circumstances is a major prerequisite. Since you might be doing some of the things discussed above for completely different reasons, addressing these in the best way as early as possible can help to live a fulfilling life. Do you think you have any of these habits? If so, do you think this helped you recognize them? Feel free to leave a comment down below with your thoughts, experiences, or suggestions. If you found this video helpful, be sure to hit the like button and share it with those out there unaware of their side effects. Don't forget to subscribe to Psych2Go and hit the notification bell for more new videos. And as always, thanks for watching. Hey Psych2Goers, welcome back to our channel. So, you want to improve your intelligence, huh? There are many ways that this can be done. Education is key. It's never too late to learn something new and become a bit smarter than you were yesterday. Here are a few little habits you can pick up that can also boost your intelligence. Number 1, play word games and puzzles. Have you heard of any brain games out there that may just improve your IQ? Well, some common games such as Scrabble or crosswords can help as well. Memory games such as jigsaw puzzles, crosswords, Sudoku, and card games can improve memory and language and reasoning skills. So much so that there are several research studies that use memory games in order to see how much spatial memory connects to language and our understanding of objectives. Sudoku has even been said to lower the risk of Alzheimer's disease, according to the American Alzheimer's Association. Games like Scrabble and Pictionary can affect our executive control, while mazes and unfolded prisms help in our visuospatial reasoning. Improving visuospatial reasoning can even lead to a higher IQ, according to one 2017 research study. So while you've never won a game of Sudoku, it's best for your brain to keep up those puzzles and word games. Sudoku, anyone? Number 2, read the uncomfortable. We can be experts on things that we love, which is good, but who wouldn't want to have a greater knowledge of broad subjects too? Our mind is comfortable reading subjects that we already know a thing or two about. So if you're used to only reading modern fantasy books, pick up an autobiography or a literary classic. Or perhaps you're a light reader, delve into that history book that's been collecting dust for the past couple of years. If we expand our knowledge and get outside of our comfort zones, our brains will thank us for it in the long run. Number 3, write down your existential questions and thoughts. So you have all these exciting ideas and existential questions, but there's no one around at the moment. Instead of letting these thoughts pass, write them down and exercise your mind. It will not only improve your communication skills, mostly written communication skills, but it will also give you a chance to expand on these deeper ideas. a much needed brain exercise. Number 4, learn a musical instrument and take time for your passions. It's important to give your brain a creative outlet. If you have a creative passion you've been neglecting for a while, now's the time to bring it back. Many find their passion in playing a musical instrument. Have you considered learning the violin or the piano or the oboe? One 2016 study found that musicians have a greater working memory than those who don't play a musical instrument. Improving our memory is a great way to boost our intelligence, so it's not a bad idea to pick up a habit of practicing that guitar. With enough practice, you may just finally win a match. Game on. Number 5, exercise. A good diet and plenty of exercise will not only benefit our physical health, but our mental health as well. We'll not only have better blood flow to our brain with exercise, but we'll gain a boost of proteins that can help grow our neural connections in our brain. So I guess it's time to roll out that yoga mat. And number 6, learn a new skill or hobby. It's time to stimulate your mind. How? Getting creative. You know, that new hobby you've been meaning to try out or that skill you've been wanting to learn? Well, now is the time. It's never too late to broaden your knowledge or refine a skill. Welcoming a new hobby and giving yourself an exciting challenge will give your brain the stimulation it's been secretly craving. So, which of these habits will you implement? Share with us in the comment section down below. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to click the like button and share it with a friend. Subscribe to Psych2Go and hit the notification bell icon for more content like this. And as always, thanks so much for watching. Hey Psych2Goers, welcome back to our channel. Have you ever had a feeling in the pit of your stomach as if something was off? Something just didn't feel right. This is known as a gut feeling. Our gut feelings often relate back to our survival instincts and primal wisdom. But how can you tell if you're overthinking or if that strong feeling of yours is correct? Well, here are 6 signs that your gut feelings are correct. Number 1, dreams. Do you often feel your dreams are trying to tell you something? Many psychologists analyze dreams. Sigmund Freud, the founder of psychoanalysis, believed that unconscious thoughts and forces constructed a wish, which was then expressed or represented in a dream. Many believe there are symbols and hidden meanings from our subconscious minds in our dreams. So if you notice that strong intuitive feeling of yours is showing itself in your dreams, it's best not to ignore it. It may be that your subconscious mind is trying to tell you something important. Number 2, you feel you need time to think. If you feel you need a moment to sit in silence and think through a strong feeling of yours, do so. When we feel overwhelmed with an intuitive feeling we can't shake, odds are our body is trying to tell us, this is real, trust me. Number 3, you feel you're in danger. Our primal instincts are more often right than wrong. When you can't help but feel you're in danger, you should never ignore it. It's best to leave a situation that makes you feel this way and listen to your gut feeling. Number 4, trust muscle memory. Are you quite skillful at a certain sport, hobby, or art? When it comes time to perform your skill, it's often best to trust your muscle memory as opposed to overthinking. Trust your instinct. A study by the University of Chicago found that while novice golfers did better when they thought carefully about their putts, the performance of more experienced golfers got much worse when they reflected on what they were doing. So sometimes it's simply better to trust yourself. Number 5, your body is trying to tell you something. Do you feel panicky? Are you short of breath? Has that feeling in the pit of your stomach moved on to a literal concerning feeling in your stomach? Like seriously, you may need to see a doctor for this pain. Well, when your body is physically telling you something isn't right, it is best to trust it. Our heart rate often increases when we sense danger. Our breathing can quicken. There are ways in which our body responds to danger. So it's best to trust your mind and body. And number 6, you have a clear desire and feel this is right. Do you have a passion you can't stop thinking about? A strong desire to follow a certain career or apply for a certain job? It's a good thing to follow what makes us happy and fulfilled. So if your body is clearly telling you this is what you want in life, despite what others say, listen to your passions. Listen to that gut feeling. Whether it's the quick beat of your heart or your unconscious mind telling you something, it's still you. So you're not just hearing from your gut, you're really just hearing from yourself. It's time to listen. Speaking of which, my tummy's rumbling for some cornbread cakes. Definitely. Time to listen to this gut feeling. So what type of gut feelings do you often get? Do you trust them? Let us know in the comment section down below. And if you found this video helpful, don't forget to click the like button and share this video with someone who could use it. Subscribe to Psych2Go and hit the notification bell icon for more content like this. And as always, thanks for watching.